Hey, man. I might have missed a couple things on that first video. As a cowboy, I get really excited and sometimes I miss something. So I was out back milking Bessie and I missed a couple of minor things. So if you having problems with your AtGames after connecting your Pi, you might want to stick around. So sit back, relax, and let's do this. Hey guys, welcome back. This is going to be a super quick video and it's a follow-up to the launch of this particular feature where you can use a Raspberry Pi RetroPi with your AtGames Ultimate. So check this out. So I want you to have the best experience possible. When you're using the AtGames system as a Bluetooth controller to the Raspberry Pi, there's a couple things you want to make sure you want to do. So you got to make sure that the AtGames is up and running and in client mode before you do anything. So make sure before you connect it, it's in Bluetooth client mode. So what I would suggest you do is you keep your Pi powered down until you want to use it. So when you want to use it, you put this into client mode. Now reboot your Pi, but make sure you already did the other steps from the other video. Now, if you haven't, I'll show you what to do right now. Okay, so you got to make sure you follow this process. You're going to want to go over to your Pi, go to Bluetooth. When you're in Bluetooth, there's a couple settings so that you can make sure that the Bluetooth connection persists every time you reboot it. So you want to go to register your device, which you can reference the other video for. But the step that I didn't tell you in the first video, you're going to want to set up this dev rule. So you're going to want to find the rock chip device, which is your AtGames control panel, and make sure you select that. That'll make sure that it will be a persistent binding when you reboot the Pi. But there's one other thing. Make sure that this 8-bit DOE mapping is set to on/old firmware, and then you should be good to go. Now, here's the thing. So if you find yourself coming to the Pi back here and all of a sudden your controls don't work, it's because you didn't follow the process correctly. So once it's paired and it's working, whenever you want to use it again, so first off, let's say I was using it right now and it was working perfectly fine. I'm going to want to go to the Pi, I'm going to want to go to quit, and I'm going to go to shutdown because I'm done using it for today, right? So all good. Now I'm going to go hop back over to the AtGames. Okay, so I'm back over at my AtGames and I'm done using my Pi for the day. So let's say I want to use it again, right? Okay, make sure you gracefully shut it down from the last time, but I'm going to go back in here. I'm going to go to settings because I want to use it again. I want to go Bluetooth client mode, apply. Now, at this point, I have that counter time to go boot up my Pi. So I'm going to go boot it up right now, and you'll notice the controls will work as soon as it powers up. Okay, I'm powering up my Pi right now. And when it comes back, because I followed this process in this manner, it should automatically remap the controls and connect the Bluetooth connection. If you don't do it this way or you do it out of order, it's not going to work. So just make sure that, it will obviously work the initial time, but if you want it to work every time thereafter, you have to make sure you do it in this order. Because what happens is if the Pi is booting up and the Bluetooth isn't in a discovery mode on the AtGames, it won't ever find it. So just keep that in mind. That's a really important step. So I want you guys to have a good experience, so just make sure you do it this way. And what I would encourage is you shut down your Pi when you're not using it. And now a quick word from Cowboy RetroRalph. Hey, man. I almost forgot. I'm so fixated on getting home back east that I forgot about one thing. You're also going to want to shut down your Pi because it will register inputs from your AtGames Legends Ultimate if it's still powered on. So just as a common practice, power down your Pi. I mean, it's really easy. You wouldn't leave the room and leave the lights on, would you? No, you'd shut the switch off. So when you're done playing with your Pi, shut your Pi hole and shut the switch off, man. Using it and gracefully shut it down. So I'm going to show you. You're not going to see me. I'm going to go out of frame, but you can maybe hear the joystick. You'll see that it works. So I don't know if you can actually see that, but it's moving again. So if you do it out of order, it won't be moving and it won't work. So just keep in mind, that is very, very important. I didn't have time to include that in the first video. The other thing I wanted you guys to be aware of is I used a Pi 3B Plus. So I can guarantee the 3B Plus works. It's what I did my testing on. I personally wouldn't mess with the Pi 4 because a lot of the RetroPi stuff isn't optimized yet for it. So stick with the 3B. You'll be all set. Things will work perfect, and it should have plenty of stuff for you to do. Now, the other thing that I wanted to mention is this is using Bluetooth, right? It's using Bluetooth to make this connection. Now, Bluetooth will induce a little bit of lag because it just does. It works that way. So unfortunately, you'll have to maybe experience a little bit of that. So if you're really sensitive to it, there's a couple ways you can mitigate it. One is shut off the Wi-Fi on your Pi. That will actually help mitigate the lag. But if even the little bit of lag that it has is bothersome to you, is that even a word, bothersome? I think it is. If it bugs you, then what I would do is, there's other options, right? The AtGames cabinet, that's the beauty of it. It's a platform. You've got Bring Your Own Game. You've got ArcadeNet. You got Bring Your Own ROMs. All of those things you can find out more information on by just going to the playlists that I have for the AtGames Legends Ultimate. So if for some reason the lag is bothering you, which it didn't bother me, only one game that it really bothered me on was Donkey Kong. But other than that, all the other games felt good to me. So that's my personal preference. So just keep in mind, this is just another option. And that's what's nice about a platform versus like a dedicated system that just has 4 games on it, right? Because you're going to have to keep on buying cab after cab after cab. Where this, I just knocked something over, where this is just, you have all these options. So it's really, really cool. This is what multicades are all about, like giving you the options to have a really fun experience. So this is just one of those ways to enjoy it. So if Pi is not a comfort thing for you, I think you can find something between ArcadeNet, Bring Your Own Game, and Bring Your Own ROM. There's lots there to offer. So just keep in mind, if you're not that Pi savvy, maybe don't go down this path, and you're going to have plenty of stuff to do and plenty of games to play. So the other thing I wanted to mention is if you're newer to Pi, please make sure when you're not using it, and of course I can't find my controller, here it is. When you're not using it, gracefully shut it down. So go to quit, go to shut down system, and hit yes. This isn't a Pi thing. This is a computing thing, right? Computers, operating systems like to be shut down gracefully. Sure, you can pull the plug from it, but you run the risk of a corrupted file system. So this is just normal stuff. So if you're not using it, or you're, in between sessions or whatever, just shut it down gracefully and you'll have a good experience. There was one other thing that I wanted to mention. So on the Bluetooth controller thing and the lag, there's one thing that I haven't mentioned to AtGames yet that I want to bring up to PK and maybe see if he's willing to try this out. But Pandora's box, the fight sticks, the 2 sticks with the 2 players, they have the ability to USB connect those things to like gaming systems as a means to use that as a controller. I was actually going to run that idea by PK and say, hey, for those that maybe don't want to do Bluetooth, is it possible to hardwire it later on down the road with some code updates? So I'm going to ask him about that, but I haven't had a chance to bounce that idea off him yet. So that's kind of it. That's really the things I wanted to make sure I mentioned because I didn't have time to squeeze that into the first video, and this is stuff to make sure that you have a great experience. So if you like this video, if you like this video, please like it. Please consider subscribing to the channel. No obligation, but it does help, and we do appreciate that. Put your comments below, and make sure to turn on notifications for future updates. All right, guys, if you're watching this right now, I'm probably on a plane going to Rhode Island. So hopefully this information is helpful. I wanted to get it out as quickly as possible because once I'm on vacation, I'm probably going to avoid YouTube for at least 5 days, 4 days. And gosh, I need the break from it for a little bit. It can get stressful at times. I'm sure I'm going to have FOMO as additional videos come out, but hey, I'm going to deal with it because it's time to spend it with the family. So that's what I'm going to do. So thanks guys for watching, and we will see you on the next one.